Hey, it's me, Chris. Just gonna make another video. Um, got these big things on because want to use the mic. Sorry if that's loud, but anyways, I just want to kind of make a video. Just basically to encourage and show that God does work, and I just basically want to share my walk with God with you guys. To those of you who care, to those of you who don't, whatever, live and let live. Basically, I just want to kind of share the way that God has spoke to me and answered my prayers and guided me in the last like month and a half. Basically, since giving myself to the Lord, God has involved Himself in my life more than ever, more than He did when I was in Winnipeg, more than before I was in Winnipeg. Just basically because I'm seeking Him. He's working in my life a lot more, and it's just what's the best way to explain it? Basically, when I involve him in my life, he involves me. That's basically how I can sum it up in the easiest terms. He has answered multiple prayers and has shown me that he does love us, and that when we do seek him, he does great things for us, because well, ultimately he does love us, and he cares about all of us, regardless of what we do. He loves all of us. He's a great guy, man. He's a great guy. It's the best way to explain it. If you can see me looking down, I just have things written down because a lot of things have happened, and it's quite it's really there's a lot here. There's a lot here. So brace yourself. I hope you have some time to listen to this video. Basically, ultimately, he wants us, from what I've learned, he wants us to go to him and lean on him when we are having trouble. And sometimes he may either test our faith just to see how strong it is, or how strong our faith is, and how much we do look to him and need him. A good example is in the Bible. Abraham, he basically got told by God to sacrifice his one and only son, with Sarah. And because his faith was so strong in God and he trusted God, he was literally about to sacrifice his son. And just as he was about to sacrifice him, an angel called out and yelled, "Abraham, no, don't!" And basically, a lamb or something came up. I forget, to be honest. But basically, so yeah. And that was just to test his faith, and ultimately he passed that test. I mean, some of you may think that's cruel, but I think that's pretty sweet, because if you put all of your trust in God, like I am, and like fellow Christians, I mean, there's endless amounts of opportunities to come out of it with the Lord. Anyways, there was one time last week I got really emotional, and I just prayed really hard for God to give me forgiveness, and I was crying during this prayer just to give me forgiveness, and I didn't know if I asked for it. And just asked for forgiveness, asked him to guide me on what he wants me to do in my life. And basically he it was a good 5 to 10 minute prayer, and just kind of blessed him and thanked him and just told him how much I loved him. And the next day, I got offered to go to a youth conference with everything paid for. And then this guy, which I consider a huge blessing, because I really wanted to go to this youth conference, and I'm going as a youth leader. So anyways, and then the day after that, this guy, Pete, called me, and I had an ad on Kijiji about a job, or about looking for jobs, and I deleted it because at this time I was planning on going out to Alberta. So he called me, and I was working with my dad, and he asked me if I could help him, and I said no. I'm working with my dad, and he's like, okay, we'll just keep my number. And literally like a month and a half later, he calls me last week or the week before, and he's like, hey, I completely forgot about this guy. He called me again and he's like, "Hey, do you want to help me?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure. When can you pick me up because I don't have a vehicle?" And he's like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." And so while I was talking to him, he asked me like what my work experience was and stuff like that, and I basically just told him, what I did in Winnipeg, and basically all in all, I was just like, I like the customer to be happy. Um, and stuff like that. And he's like, no, like I totally agree. He's like, I don't like working for people who put themselves first before the customer, and they just scam and scam and scam, and they're just really money hungry rather than pleasing the customer. And he's like, I'm really faith based. So I was like, faith based. I was like, he's like, yeah, like I live to serve God. And I was like, whoa. I was like, me too. So it was pretty sick how God introduced him and I, especially after a month and a half after forgetting about him. He brought me back into his, or basically brought us two back together, and he's a fellow Jesus follower. So that was pretty sick. Another time, me or Randy and a bunch of us wanted to go to Detroit for Winter Jam, and it kind of didn't seem like it was gonna happen, just because we didn't have tickets, and no one was willing to drive. So Randy prayed really hard about it, and then some people volunteered to drive. So then we got a huge group going, and the doors opened at 5, and we didn't leave Sarnia till 5. So we were getting told by people there and other people even that went last year that if we weren't in line early, we're never going to get in. But all of us put our total faith in God, and Randy even asked me if I wanted to go, and I was like, I don't know. Like, I kind of had doubt in my mind, but in the back of my head, someone was like saying, "Go, go, like go. It's gonna work. It's gonna work." And I'm not gonna lie, like some of it I was negative. I was like, nah, like I'm not gonna go, just because it wasn't gonna work out. But I did go, and I had this deep inner feeling that it was gonna work out, and if it was in God's will. And literally, we get there like 6:30, and concerts are already happening and stuff like that. And we literally just like walked in, um, for like for the whole night, and it was an awesome way to worship and just listen to great bands and all that. So God bless me that way. And here's a funny story. When we crossed the border, um, basically both of our cars got split up, and so we were just like, "Oh, yo, let's pull over for 5 minutes, and let's just see if they come up behind us, maybe they're stuck at the border or something like that." So we pull over, and I was just like sitting there, I was like praying, I was like, Lord, like just let us find each other. I was like, this is the worst time to like lose each other. We don't have any service, yada yada yada. And basically I was like, Jesus, take the wheel. And so we start pulling out, and all of a sudden they come up right behind us. And I just thought it was really funny how that all worked out. So that was just kind of more of a funny story. And then there was one time last week on Sunday, and I was just worshiping, just being one with the Lord, and I was just like, Lord, like, I was like, I thank you for everything you've done, and I love you so much, and just thank you for all your blessings, and just everything, just the people you've introduced me to, and the walk that you're letting me walk, and stuff like that. And I was just like, anoint me, Lord, anoint me, anoint me, anoint me. And I was like demanding him, commanding him to anoint me. And all of a sudden I just felt all these chills. And it wasn't like chills like all, and then they stop. It was like chill, and then chill, and then chill, and then chill. It was like on and off, on and off, on and off for a good like minute. And so anyways, then I felt like a cold breeze by my hands for a split second, and that was gone. And I knew it wasn't a fan because I sit in the same spot at church all the time. And then yesterday during prayer, I suck at publicly doing prayers. So basically, I was praying, and basically it just started almost like I was in an oven at the end of my prayer. I felt super heated up. It was just definitely the presence of God there. Um, and then yesterday I just felt like I had to go for a walk with God and just pray and kind of let Him guide me on where He wants me to go. And so I was walking through Germain, and I was like and someone was telling me like, no, don't sit here, don't sit here. Like, so I kept walking, and I was walking through St. Pat's, and something in my head was just like, or God was just like, no, don't sit there, don't go over there. And at the end he's like, go to the hospital. It's warm in there. So I go to the hospital, and I just sit there, and I'm just sitting, praying and reading my Bible, and just kind of doing a little Bible study to myself. And then, at the end, I look up at the clock. It was like 4, and I was like, okay, well, I guess it's time to start going. So then something in my head, or God in my head, was just basically like, read this last verse, read this last verse in this Bible. And I was like, okay. So I read it, and pack up, start walking. And as soon as I get over to St. Pat's, my stepsister drives by, and so I like run over. She stopped, and she turned into an apartment block, and so I like ran over there, and I haven't seen my stepsister in 3 years. So I definitely took that as something God guided me to. I don't believe in coincidences at all. Um, Anyways, and then basically this has all happened within 3 weeks, and all of them within a week. And I've deleted a lot of bad things off my computer, music, pictures, um, just because, not that I still look at them or go through them or anything like that, just because I just want everything to just, be pure and be clean. And so I work my heart out to be pure. So basically, all in all, it all boils down to, like, I know I'm not a perfect person. I still have a lot of things to work out and tweak, but I can't do any of it without the guidance of God. But basically, all in all, He's guided me to help those who are in need, the youth, just kind of encourage all of you to show you that God does work. And I'm going to be continuing to do these videos as much as I possibly can, just to kind of let you guys know how my walk with God is going. And so basically, and there's one more thing. There was one time I was just praying again, and I was thanking God for everything that He's done for me and the blessings that He's handed down to me. And I was like, just give me a verse, Lord. Just give me something to read, something that you want me to read. And at this time, there was a lot of stuff on Facebook about drinking and stuff like that, and so and there was a few times where I was like, I had what was it? I had urges to, like, have a few drinks here and there or whatever. But anyways, so Isaiah 5, it was the longest verse, and the Lord knows I don't like reading. So I was like, seriously, God? I was like, you gave me this longest verse in the Bible to read, and I've never heard of it. So after reading it, I got 4 verses out of it, to basically sum it up. It was just about sorrow to those who boast about drinking, sorrow to those who challenge themselves to drink a lot, or sort of those who think they're wise. And that kind of hit me, because sometimes I feel like I'm the smartest person on earth, but I know I'm not. So that kind of hit me, and then there was some other verses there. I don't have them in front of me, but you can look up Isaiah 5. It's 11 and 12, and then 21 and 22. But anyways, just to end this, I just basically want to say that I don't believe in being lucky or coincidences. I believe in blessings and God's power. I don't believe in a conscience, but I do believe in the voice of God and voice of the devil. We do all have free will. But right now, God's working within me. So anytime I do something even slightly, like get into an argument, or yell at someone like in a bad way, or I slip out the odd swear word, like maybe once a day, or but anyways, I feel conviction. So I apologize to the Lord, and I move on with my day. I don't let it bother me or anything like that. But anyways, just want to sum it up, update you guys with my walk with God, and continue to encourage you. If you guys have any questions on what you can do or anything like that, I'd be more than glad to more than glad and happy at the same time to answer. And if I can't find an answer, or if I don't have the answer, I will find an answer for you. I'll go out of my way just to help you guys out, because I know a lot of you are struggling. So just don't be afraid at all. All right. God bless.